At this point in my life, I'd have to say my friends do. And one of the main reasons for that is because I spend more time with them than I do with my parents.
For sure, like when I was in high school, definitely a lot more with my friends. You know, like you're always constantly around with them and you're older enough to like go to malls, and so most of the time that you spend is actually in school with your friends and then even after school.
I think more friends, because you tend to spend more time with them. Your decisions are mostly based on what their decisions are. They tend to influence you more. You tend to trust them more when you are in high school.
Well, my friends have more influence on my life.
If I were to look at choices in terms of like what I wanted to do with my life and kind of like where I was going, then I'd probably say my friends.
I would honestly say my friends.
Definitely. Everybody has probably been in that situation where you've been more dependent on your peers where you base it on them to make your decision. But yeah, like lots of people getting into drugs, drinking, and all that.
Yeah, I had many friends in elementary, and they came from other countries like India, Pakistan, and they messed up on their education in starting. But when they got to high school, it really affected them. They were getting in trouble a lot, and yeah.
Yeah, I have. One of my buddies, they were at a party and they all had alcohol to drink, and one of them decided to drive home while he was drunk, so that was a pretty bad choice on his behalf.
My buddy last year, under influence of his friends, started smoking and drinking more, stuff like that.
Maybe try drugs or something under the influence of their friends who technically don't have that good of a relationship with their parents or something like that.
Yeah, if they talk to their parents, yeah, I think their life would have been a little bit better, or way better actually.
Yeah, like a lot of times, people go to clubs not because they want to, or they'll drink not because they want to, because their friends kind of influence them to. They kind of pressure them to do certain things that they wouldn't really be inclined to do if it wasn't for them.
I don't believe he would have made the same choice, because if his parents had more of a relationship built up to that point, then he might have been able to call his parents to come pick him up from the party.
Probably not, because if they trusted their parents enough to talk to them, there'd be more of a communication, and then that way they'd probably understand more where their parents are coming from if, say, their parents disagreed with them on certain issues or certain things that they were doing, and they wouldn't make as poor choices as they would if they had a better understanding of what their parents were trying to say to them.
In my opinion, being able to talk to your parents more openly about drinking, about drugs, about school, about relationships, that kind of stuff would help out a lot, because then you know what your parents expect of you, and your parents know what you expect of your parents. So you have a different perspective on life. Since they're older, they've already been through what you're going through right now, so they can give you advice on what to do.
Yes, I would think so. Like, there's always things that you're really afraid to talk to your parents about, and you don't ever want to sell out any of your friends, because your parents will come to meet your friends, so you don't want to tell them bad stories. But sometimes when you don't have the knowledge about something and you don't go towards to your parents to talk about it, you don't have that kind of neutral standpoint, then it's just, I don't know, you just tend to make those bad decisions, right?
Yeah, for sure, because if I spend more time with them, then I'll talk to them more, and that builds trust.
Definitely, if you can communicate, you can talk to them, you can kind of explain to them what's going on, what kind of space you need sometimes, and if you have better communication, then,
Yeah, I think it would. Just because, it provides, a sense of communication, so even though, our parents have been through, they have more life experience and they only want the best for us, so it's just kind of, if we were able to communicate with them, then it would make things a lot easier.
I definitely think so. I think especially during those earlier years, it's vital that you have excellent communication with your parents, and a part of that I think is because of the language barrier. A lot of kids don't speak Punjabi very well, or if their parents don't speak English very well, there's a huge issue with communicating. And if they could communicate much better, parents definitely could have some say about what choices further on in life that kids are not, they're not looking further into their career and to their future to see how those choices will impact them later on, whereas parents could provide that perspective. And if they had that better communication, there's a lot of choices, especially the more drastic ones that involve extreme drug use. You see alcohol abuse, you see in early young kids, and a lot of that could be changed. I really do believe that.